Hey guys, this is Eric from Weekly Figure Unboxing, and in this video we're going to take a look at an SH Figuarts Uchiha Sasuke, and this is the Itachi battle version. And to be honest, I feel like this is probably the least exciting release we have gotten so far. This figure is basically exactly the same as the previous release Sasuke, just with a different sculpt. We're getting exactly the same amount of accessories, and here's the left of the box, here is the right of the box, and here's the back of the box. And the Chidori piece looks exactly the same. We are getting one different facial expression, but I don't really care for that one, to be honest. And this is probably not my favorite variant of Sasuke, but I can totally see why they're going with this. You know, they're gonna release like different versions of characters, and we might be getting the Naruto versus Pain version. That would be really cool. But I feel like they should be a little bit more creative in terms of the accessories. Anyways, let's bust this thing open and see. Alright, so here we have the figure still in there in the packaging, and he actually came with a lot of stuff, but none of these are new, so the figure doesn't feel as fresh to me, and I really think they should include a little bit more face sculpt in there. But then at the same time, if they include any more accessories in there, it's gonna burn our wallet hardcore. So I think the best way for them to give us more accessories or face sculpt, any effect parts, is by releasing different variant of the characters and make them interchangeable. Like, I want my Sasuke to be able to use the face sculpt of the other Sasuke. And obviously we can't do that here because we're going under a transition, I understand that, but hopefully that is the direction they're going for. But anyways, enough of me talking, and let's check out the figure itself. So here we have the figure itself, and he looks amazing for the most part. I love the proportion, I love the paintwork on this guy, but I still feel like the face is a little bit off. And do let me know in the comments if you feel the same, but I think the face could be a little bit better. Like, I'm not sure if something wrong with the hair or the forehead is being too high, or maybe they should just really put a bandage like on his forehead or something. That would be really cool. But I don't know. He looks really good from this angle, and he looks very good from this angle as well. But if you're staring it straight, I can kind of see it, but it could definitely be better. But anyways, he still looks very good, and let's check out the articulation and see what we got. Alright, so for the articulation, this guy is actually pretty decent, but due to the design of the character, it gets a little bit difficult, especially the lower body. But let's check it out like from the top down. Alright, so he can look up and down no problem, he can turn his head no problem, and the shoulder is on a ball joint. And unfortunately we don't have the bicep swivel this time around, but I still think it's pretty functional because we do have the butterfly, and he does have a swivel over here. The only issue I ran into is the cross arm. He can't really do the cross arm due to just not having bicep swivel, but I still think that is acceptable, since I don't think he ever needs that in this stage, especially when he's fighting against Itachi. And I can't really recall Sasuke doing cross arm anyways. But yeah, the bicep curl goes up around that much, and the wrist is on the ball joint as usual. The ab crunch is actually amazing. Like, he can bend backwards that much, he can bend forward that much, so it's pretty good. Probably one of the better one I've seen in a while. And like I mentioned earlier, it gets a little bit difficult for the lower body just due to the design of the character. This thing is on a ball joint, but I wish this thing were a little bit softer though. The articulation is all there. This is better than Whis from Dragon Ball Super, where Whis has like all this plastic, but this thing is actually soft, but I feel like it should be a little bit softer. But anyways, he does have a pull down joints in there. If you're familiar with the pull down hip, actually let me just quickly show you guys. So he has the same kind of design as Minato over here. You can just like pull that down, and you do have a swivel in there. So yeah, that's pretty good. And yeah, that's it for the articulation, and let's check out the accessories. Right, let's start with the expression, and this is the default face we've seen already. I still think it looks a little bit off, and I really want to know what you guys think, but I'm not sure. I think it's the lip color or the forehead, or I don't know, something is off over here. Alright, so next up we have the shocking phase where Itachi touches his forehead, and this looks pretty good. I think this looks slightly better than the default one, but I still think it can be a little bit better. I personally don't really care for this one. I'd rather get another Sharingan face, but I don't know, it's something nice to have. Alright, so next up we have the teeth clenching Sharingan face, and this one is actually spot on. It looks exactly like Sasuke, so I'm not sure what went wrong with the default one, but this one definitely looks good. But you know, I have the same issue. I still want the just a calm looking Sharingan face. I don't really want him to like clenching his teeth or shouting. I just want a calm expression Sharingan face. I think they should really include that in the future. But yeah, this looks very good. You can actually see the Sharingan in there, so this is so awesome. I love the detail on this one. I think I'm just gonna keep this on. Alright, so next up he came with a pair of ninjutsu hands, and these are pretty standard for Naruto figures unless you're Rock Lee or Guy. But yeah, this is very cool. Alright, so next up he came with a pair of display open hands, and these are pretty standard. Unfortunately we don't have any shuriken, because I would really like him to use like shuriken with this hand, so I don't know, maybe they would include that in the future, but yeah, that's pretty cool. Alright, so next up he came with another pair of the sway open hands, and these are pretty useful. You can use it as if he's like charging Chidori, or he's using some like lightning effects. And yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, something like this should be cool, but not as much lightning as I hoped though. Alright, so next up he came with a pair of hands for him to hold a sword, and I double checked earlier, they are exactly the same as the previous Sasuke, and let's check out what he looks like. So you can place a sword at his back like so, and that looks really nice. You can also have him holding it, even though I don't think he ever does that, but that looks really good. And we have him holding a sword, and this looks amazing. And of course you have the sheath at his back, and yeah, I love this. I absolutely love this. Or you can have him holding the sword sheath. I mean, it's really cool. You can do all sorts of stuff with it. You can maybe use it to block as well. So yeah, that's pretty cool. So lastly, we have a pair of hands for him to use the Chidori, and we do have the Chidori over here, and this is exactly the same as the previous release Sasuke. And just take this off and, you know, put it on him, and let's check out what. Alright, so here's Sasuke with the Chidori assembled, and it looks pretty good, but it is exactly the same as the previous one, like I mentioned earlier. So yeah, it still looks really good though. I like it. And let's jump straight into the size comparison. Alright, so before we get into the size comparison, I want to quickly compare it with the previous Sasuke. And to be honest, I don't think I'm going to keep this anymore because he just looks a little bit outdated at this point. And don't get me wrong, I love the figure. I have 2 of these, but we have to face the reality because we're moving forward with the technology, and Bandai has like a new product manager that's managing the Naruto line. So this one just doesn't seem like it fits anymore like in the future. And I'm pretty sure they're gonna release the same outfit, but with a better sculpt. So I don't know. I think I'm gonna sell it. And yeah, let's check out some other size comparison. Alright, so for the size comparison, let's start off with the Naruto figures first, and they look very good together. Alright, so next up we have some Avengers figures, and they look very good together. And next up we have some Dragon Ball figures, and they look very good as well. And next up we have some Star Wars figures, and they look very good. And next up we have some more SH Figuarts, and they look great. Kamen Riders, Figma, Diamond Select, and lastly we have the Super Action Statues Kaneki and Variable Action Heroes Lucario. And let's jump straight into the final thoughts. Alright, so for the final thoughts, I highly recommend the figure. He has a great paintwork, great sculpt, and good amount of accessories. And like I mentioned earlier, the only issue I have with the figure is that the default face looks a little bit off from some angle, especially up front. Otherwise, this figure is perfect in my biased opinion, and it's a perfect reboot for Sasuke. And hopefully the Naruto line does well so we can get more variant of Sasuke. And based on what I have seen already, we should be getting there. I want at least 2 more variant of Sasuke, and I think we should be getting the resculpt version of the previous one for sure. But I think the Akatsuki version will be very cool as well. But I think most importantly, we need more facial expression. Because to me, facial expression is probably one of the strongest suit for imported figures, and they can do that for sure. Like, Dragon Ball figures comes with a lot of facial expression. And I understand that Naruto is never going to be as big as Dragon Ball in the States. But I still think the Naruto line deserves a little bit more than this. And I also understand that Bandai is working very hard to make this work. They're releasing Itachi, they're releasing Rock Lee, they're making Gaara, they're making Sakura, so I think we should really help them as a community here. They are releasing a survey for us to do. I think everyone should just go do them and just let them know what we want. But I think based on what I want, personally, I just want them to, you know, let us interchange the facial expression with the same character. That's all I'm asking for. But yeah, I think that's it from me. I have been talking for a long time, and I ordered Itachi from Japan yesterday, so I should be getting that within the next 2 weeks. So keep an eye out for that. At least we're getting a little bit earlier than the US release. And that's it from me, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And this is Eric. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace!